So, what is the market going to do from here? Where is it going? Where's it going from here, the beginning of October, through the end of the year, through the election, through the confirmation of a Supreme Court justice, through the finding of a vaccine, through the turmoil caused by unemployment, by the collapse of the airline industry, the non-issuance of another relief package. And if you watched my last video, you see that I believe that the whole market since 2000 is being propped up by cash printed by the various governments around the country. So where is this going, and where do I need to be invested? Well, let's first of all discuss where I am invested. I have 50% of my holdings in cash right now because of the turmoil that I see in the market. And my next point of decision is going to be after the election so that I can decide, do I want to buy back in? Do I want to sell more? What do I want to do? Then my perspective goes to what's going to happen in 2021 and how do I want to be positioned. Now, also in there, I equate that I'm up about 50% in 2020 from where I was January 1st to where I am now. I have about a 50% gain. So I'm asking myself the question, is that enough, Carrie? Why don't you just go 100% cash and ride this all out and wait for the dust to settle and then make a decision after the first of the year, after we have the virus under control, after we know who the president is going to be? Why don't you just go to cash? Well, I guess you might say I'm a little bit greedy, and I enjoy the game. I enjoy the trying to figure out what is going to happen. So what I started looking at is, okay, let's assume that we stay with our premise that we will make a decision after the election where we're going from there, unless something drastic happens or unless you get some information, which I think I am getting, that tells you to do something different. But right now, let's look at 2021. So with that in mind, I decided I'm going to look back in the history and say when there was turmoil before, when there was fear, when there was anxiety before, what actually happened. In the first place I looked was that of the 1999, the 2000 movement towards the dot-com bubble, because I think there are so many similarities right now compared to that. And as I look at that movement forward, housing was up, stocks were up, so were metals. So with that in mind, I said, well, that's kind of a pretty much a picture of where we are today, and that everything was just wonderful. And there was a tremendous flow of money into all of those categories, the least of which was probably metals. But once the stock bubble hit, the big benefactor was metals. Okay, so that's good information to know. When there is a free-for-all, a run for the roses on the stocks and the housing, and the metals are just kind of dragging along, and then when the bottom falls out, the metals peak. Okay, that's good information. That's something that we can work with. So then I moved up to 2008, and on 2008, again, it was similar, and again, as we approach 2008, 2009, the subprime crisis, we had the same situation. But when the housing crashed and the market crashed with it, metals spiked. So I'm asking myself, is this what I need to do? Do I want to get in metals now, or do I want to wait till the bottom falls out? How do I want to do it? Do I want to move my 50% cash over into metals now? That's the decision I'm trying to make at this time. And what is going to happen between now and January the 1st. And how do I react to it? I look at the current situation relative to jobs. Yeah, jobs have gone up, but now in September, the jobs report, they haven't gone up in the same projection that they had in the past. So, and a lot of that is saying that's because the children didn't go back to school, and a lot of women are going to have to stay at home to help educate them, and so they fell out of the workforce. All right, that's good information. Then I'm reading about the prediction by many notables of the Great Reset, that in fact everything is going to reset back to zero sometime in 2021, and I don't really think that's probably factual. There's too many conflicting sources that says that debts are going to be forgiven and banks are going to go on holiday and bonds are going to, interest rates will be adjusted. The Fed has basically said interest rates are going to stay where they're at, so inflation is probably not going to take over. So, does that give me any direction as to what I want to do? I guess the direction that I believe is that I believe that the stock market is in for a correction. I believe that we have gotten as far as we have in 2020 with an up market and an up real estate market as a result of the money that is flowing into the markets by the Treasury. Once that stops, and once interest rates are allowed to surface and inflation comes, we are in for a major correction all across the market, and metals will become very, very favorable. That's what I think is going to happen in 2021. So I then come back to my holdings. 50% in roughly 7 stocks are up 2% today. Do I have the courage today to say, I think rough waters are ahead? I think as I predicted and said in earlier videos, that my 7 stocks are going to come back down into the trading channel of history and fall out of the trading channel of the pandemic, and things will come back to normal. What I don't know is what normal looks like. I don't know. We have put, since 2000, we have put over $20 trillion just here in the United States into the economy. Can my favorite stocks, my big 6, Big 9 minus China plus Tesla minus IBM, can they continue on the run that they have been on, which I think is justified by the technology that is coming to us in the future? I have no doubt in my mind that this world is going to be very, very different in the next 5 years. The technology is going to drive it, that artificial intelligence is going to drive it, that electric vehicles are going to drive it. I just don't know that if the money flow stops, if the federal government stops printing money, what's going to propel this? $20 trillion has come into our economy since 2000. That's our national debt. Our national debt in 2000 was $4 trillion. It's now $26 trillion, and we're being promised at least another 1.5 within the next couple weeks, if not in the next week. If that stops, what happens to the market? Does this all go away? I don't think so. But there has to be, if the money's going to stop, there has to be a reset. What is the effect of that reset? What happens to Amazon price? Does it drop from 3,000 to 1,500 and then just start back up? Because I know it's going to start back up. Does Google drop from 1,200 to 600 and then it just climbs back up? Well, if that's the case, then I want to sell all my Google and Amazon and buy back at 1,500 and 600, don't I? I think I do. But what if I'm wrong? So if I'm wrong, maybe I ought to stay just 50% cash, because I am up 2% today. This is difficult. So I look back in history. History tells me, history pretty much has convinced me we're going to a reset. And that reset will start when the money stops. But is the money going to stop? Can the money stop? If I'm Mnuchin, if I'm Trump or whoever, can I turn the faucet off? And can we survive? If I turn the faucet off, do all these unemployed people get reemployed? Do the cruise lines start back up even though nobody has the pandemic? And how do I assure that there isn't another pandemic just 2 months away? How do I do that? This is difficult. And I know diversification is not the answer. I've got to pick the right place to be in. Am I in real estate? Am I in stocks and bonds? Or am I in metals? That's the decision. It's that simple. I got to be in one of three places. I need your help. That's why I have formed this tribe. That's why I have formed the Best of Us Investors tribe. I need more information. Good decisions are based upon information, education, wisdom, and information. So I need you, first of all, to become a member of the tribe by going to bestofusinvestors.com, giving me your name, your email address. I'll then send you a letter which will share more insights, more information from not only me, but the other members of our tribe. And we'll try collectively to figure out this out. This is too big a thing for me to figure out, or any one person to figure out. It's got to be based on information. And the only way I can get information is for you to give it to me, you to share it with me. So once you become a member of our tribe, Best of Us Investors, you're going to find a link to our Discord. At our Discord, you're going to find a group of people who are sharing their ideas. You're going to gain other people's insights. You're going to gain education. And that is the only way we're going to survive this. That is, and survive is the wrong word. That's the only way we're going to win at this game, because this is a game, and you need to know who you're playing against. You're playing against let's put a price on it. A $10 million quantum computer that is being fed information by a young graduate of some business school and some psychology department and some mathematical genius, and the three of them get paid each $120,000 a year and live in New York City and then get paid 20% of all the profits they make. That's who you're playing against. That's who's trying to make the same decisions that I am right now. Not how to diversify. They don't diversify. Hedge funds don't diversify. First, they go long or they go short. And second, they go into specific categories that they have information and knowledge that you and I don't have. So to level the playing field, we've got to come together to fight them. Or no, not to fight them, to compete with them and to get on the same field that they're on. We're playing professional ball now. We're not in little league, and we're not in summer league where the parents pay big things for you to play. We're in the big leagues, and the shit's going to hit the fan real soon now, and we need to know which way to step. right or left, up or down. And I need your help. bestofusinvestors.com. Come to the tribe, share your knowledge, share your insights. I'll share mine.